It's Tuesday's market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and still wallowing around in this flat trade, hugging this 50-day moving average on the S&P 500. Good-looking weekly options trade we put on yesterday in our weekly options live trade brief at 1 o'clock. Bull put spread. 2340, 2335. It's up about $700. That's a 40% gain a day. That's not too shabby. Market's flat. We were off as much as what, 5 to 9 on the S&P 500, but gave a little or got a little bit of that back on the president just recently saying, and it really isn't news because he's said this a quadrillion times, but we're going to give Franken Dodd, Dodd-Frank, a significant haircut. Not to look like his comb over, but significant haircut meaning we're going to gut that financial regulation. Obviously, that's bullish for financial stocks, but it's like reheating burnt toast, folks. We got it, like that one Simpsons episode. When are we going to get to the fireworks factory, man? Let's see the fireworks. So with that, I kind of sold into that. I also just put on in my primary live trade brief we just got done a bear call spread on Goldman Sachs at 232.5, 235 out to Friday. It's down about $200 right now, but quick 4-day trade. It's technically I'm legging into an iron condor because over in my primary live trade brief I have on a bull put spread out to Friday. But here we are in this tight trade, folks. The bias is to the upside, but it really it pains me to say that because we're waiting. So on the radar, folks, I'll get to the Susan Rice thing, man. I got to save it to the end so my face doesn't melt. We're in a holding pattern mainly because of this whole President Z, who's going to be joining the president up the road here a couple miles in Palm Beach. Obviously, trade is on their agenda. That's a big thing, but the bigger thing on their radar, folks, has to be North Korea. It's just ridiculous. The nuclear, not so swift. 4-star admiral. He was the commanding officer of VFA 97, my sister squadron on the USS Kitty Hawk, my second deployment. He was the skipper. He's now a 4-star admiral. He's the commander-in-chief of all Pacific forces or something like that. He's a heavy dude, man. He says they already have the capability to deliver a nuclear weapon, and that's kind of being buried in the media there. But that's the biggest thing on the radar, but the market's obviously waiting for trade. So North Korea is the long pole in the tent. I mean, hell, I'm hearing Republicans even calling for sanctions against, not necessarily just against North Korea, but against China too, unless they sit on their creepy cousin. And when the Chinese get a little worried, like, hey, we can't even sit on this guy, you should be worried. And the intelligence community, which has lost all faith and confidence from me and probably most Americans, are saying, hey, everybody relax. Maybe they're a year or a couple of years away. No, they're not. Folks, if I was that guy, I'd put a couple of my nukes on a couple of cargo ships, pull it into Seattle, San Fran, and San Diego, and light them off. And there goes, 50 million Americans, for Christ's sake. So this is huge. This is real. You want to talk about what scares me on the right side of this chart, and the market's going to zero? That's one of them. North Korea, Russia, and the Trump trade fading. So. And again, the market's kind of wallowing in politics right now. This lady is going to jail for 10 years. I hope and pray to God. Hillary Clinton should as well. Susan Rice, the former national security advisor, has been unmasked as the unmasker. Barack Obama is in Tahiti right now, completely out of reach. He knows this is coming. His lapdog, his lackey, his Chicago fellow community organizer lady is going to prison. I hope and I swear to God. Where is the liberal media on this? You can hear crickets, folks. In the waning days, in the final year of his administration, she employed our national intelligence agencies for political reasons. If that doesn't make you want to grab your pitchfork and your torch and get to D.C., then just check out, man. Go somewhere else, okay? This whole Russia thing with the president. So the FBI, let me get this straight, can read over 650,000 Hillary emails in a couple days and find, quote, nothing. But in the past year that they've been looking into this whole Russia-Trump thing, they haven't found one scintilla of anything. Now we know what Susan Rice did, and James Comey, what a horse's ass. Didn't even mention this a couple weeks ago when he was in front of Congress. He was more Russia Trumpish. Didn't even whisper anything like this. Now, I used to be able to give a little bit to that guy and say, well, maybe he was just this is explosive. This is huge. I mean, the National Security Advisor doing this. No, folks, we didn't. Look at the IRS. The IRS went after conservatives, Republican, Tea Party groups. That lady, Lois Lerner, they shredded documents. They destroyed hard drives. They deleted emails that were under subpoena. Nothing. Who cares, right? Who cares about apathy? I've had it, folks. We've ceased to be a republic, man. I've about had it. End of the quarter, or beginning of the new quarter, end of the last quarter. We're getting into earnings season. Good looking trades, man. We got an Apple. We also put on an Apple bull put spread this morning. It's already up $150. Why not segue into Apple here? It's because our Gen 18 trades up almost 11 grand. Our Gen 19 long call diagonals up almost 13 grand. Really, really good looking trades, folks. We're going to be starting our next full throttle launch next Monday night at 8. Check in for tomorrow's market SITREP, and I'll give you the opt-in page where you can grab your slot for a full week of live trading and training. We're going to talk about how the markets really are becoming increasingly binary. That's not man bites dog news. I mean, markets are binary. They either go up or they go down. But it really is. We're not going to sit here forever and hug this 50-day moving average. We're either going to get back on our rally horse or we're going to implode. And I've given you reasons why I think we might implode. I have my bear put spreads on as hedges in my urgent alert portfolio. But, you know, I am cautiously bullish right now. Stocks lose momentum as investors signal caution. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And we talked about for a while now the bank stocks, you know, kind of pausing after that post-election surge. We had we had members up nearly $120,000, $135,000 with 20 contracts in the Goldman Sachs trades that I put out in the fall before the election and also after the election. So biggest thing on the agenda this week is obviously the meeting with the president of China and obviously the jobs report on Friday. Okay, yeah, a lot of news over the last 72 hours. None have had a dramatic impact on trading. Now, it's time for me to pull out a famous wizism. You ready? The market only cares when it cares. What's that mean? The market only cares when it cares, folks. If it decides to care about any of these bad things that I decided to talk about, it will care quickly, and you will see volatility explode. But what did I tell you yesterday, man? Resting heart rate nowadays is around the 11 line, and then the holy crap moment is up here around 13-ish. All right, you know, 13-ish. Look what happened yesterday when we got up around 13. Time to get short vol. Whew, it really is strange times here, folks. VIX tops 13. Stocks catch down to hedge anxiety. That was yesterday. That was April 3rd. Today's April 4th. So, again, folks, summary slide. Cautiously bullish. I got my hedges on, got my bull put spread on for the weekly, got a bear call spread on Goldman Sachs, put a little Apple on, also put a little Brazil on today. Trying to get on an iron condor here. Brazil, the JBS meat scandal, you know, we talked about, really hasn't impacted their market. We know Brazil's a little corrupt. So if you remember, make sure you watch the replay from the primary live trade brief today because I talk a lot about Brazil, my once beloved adopted country. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see many of my members tomorrow at 1 p.m. for our accelerated retirement live trade brief. And for those of you who aren't members yet, again, full throttle starts next Monday at 8 o'clock at night. I'll have the opt-in page ready to go for tomorrow's SITREP, so make sure you stop by, and I'll show you how you can grab your slot to get in to a full week of live trading and training. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.